Today, let's get into Nefertiti. Who was she? She's remembered as one of ancient Egypt's most iconic queens. Her story is literally the first recorded record of any royal that changed gender. And she did this gender change so she could rule Egypt. She did not do this because she longed to be a man, let's be clear, but because the throne of Egypt required a king. She refused to let the death of her husband collapse this fragile empire that they had built together. So after the death of Pharaoh Akhenaten, Egypt was left vulnerable. The new capital at Amarna was very unstable. Enemies pressed at the borders, and the priesthood of Amun that was recently stripped of power also. They were all waiting to restore the order of the old gods. Now we'll get into this in the next video where I break down Nefertiti's life. But basically, her and her husband Akhenaten were the first ones to stop worshiping Ra and start worshiping the Aten, the disk. And in this occasion right here, in this situation, this is when Nefertiti decided to make a choice that no other queen had ever made before her. She assumed the throne, not as a queen, but as a pharaoh, and her name was Nefertiti, adopting male regalia. She even wore a false beard to embody the full persona of a king. Remember, in this time period, only kings ruled. So for Nefertiti to maintain her rule, she had to transform into a male. This stuff is mind-blowing. In doing so, she crossed the boundary of gender that was rigidly enforced in her society. Now, Nefertiti had been unusually well prepared for leadership all the way back to her childhood, which was kind of weird. The daughter of A, and he was a powerful courtier, who later became Pharaoh himself. So she grew up in an environment of politics, religion, and art. She sounds a lot like me. She was educated in religious ceremonies, learning hymns and rituals, and these rituals connected the royals to the royal gods, the Anunnaki. She also gained knowledge of diplomacy, and this was essential for maintaining alliances. Her special passion was immersing herself into art. She loved the intellectual culture. She loved to learn. And she worked closely with painters and sculptors of Amarna. She even appears in battle imagery. Images, she was eliminating her enemies, which was an honor, a right that was never left to women. So it was a big deal. All of this training positioned her not to be a passive consort of Akhenaten, but as a partner to Akhenaten in governing. And with her, they reshaped Egypt. So during Akhenaten's reign, Nefertiti was already breaking all traditions. She appears beside him in religious scenes, offering sacrifices to Aten, and she even had equal prominence when they performed these rituals. Unlike any other queen before her, was not confined in the backgrounds, but depicted with the same scale and authority as the king. So when Akhenaten died, Nefertiti had to transition into this position of king, or to better say, into the role of the pharaoh.